Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Press Play. I'm your host, JJ48, and tonight we should be finishing Wind Waker. As you can see, we got two of the bosses down for the boss playthrough, or rerun, and um, I almost have all of the figurines. We do have one more to get, that's why we're not starting in the figurine area, because we will when we get to the last figurine, we'll try to take his picture and then retreat to the figurine area, go do the figurines, and then finish the game. Um, I don't, unfortunately, I don't think we'll be starting the next game tonight, um, because I'm going to have to get some stuff configured and swapped over before we do that. But uh, we should have a good long discussion after this. Um, okay, here a Wizrobe. Okay, he's way over there. I can kind of see. I see some sparkles there. Oh, hello. Alright, so I think what we gotta do... Doesn't seem like there's anything in particular to hit. So I think we just need to use this to fly over and can we get around these things? We can. Sort of. Okay. I'm not sure how... Were we supposed to be able to get over here with enough power to get up to the top there? Is there something else we can do? Okay, let's see, is there hook shot thing? Ah, there is. Oh, interesting. I'm not sure if this happened in the other rooms or not. If it did, I didn't notice it, but of course the boss fights have been monochrome instead of in color, and here we have a transition area from the entryway being colorful to all monochrome except the door. Which boss was this? Okay, this I think was Mulgara, or the worm one. Yeah, okay, so going to need that. I think that's all I need. Come on. Okay. Didn't mean come on like that. I meant just let me get close enough to be able to hook shot it, not for you to get close enough to eat me. There we go. Whoa. Okay. Wow, it is... black and white really hasn't been affecting most of the fights, but this one, it's actually kind of tough to tell what anything is when it's all monochrome. One of the mini worms just freaking out there. Okay, there we go. Okay, mini worms should be gone until more of them spawn. Okay, so looks like we're gonna have to do that 2 more times. Oh, that's right, he starts flying now. Okay, no, don't want to get in the dirt. Yep. Ha! Wasn't quite far enough away, okay. Come on out. I don't know why sometimes he snaps before I'm actually within range of the tongue. Like there. Get up to the... Heart. Okay, let's try to get one more attack off on this guy. I think ought to do it. Also not sure why sometimes the chain seems to extend many times longer than it normally does. Just noticed on the Tingle Tuner the rupee count. I guess when we come out of the boss room or something, must like have just defaulted to a really high number and then counted down to our current number. Okay, so we have 3 left. Now the last one I think is Jalhala. It's the big Poe guy. I didn't even check what that door was. Okay, that one over there had like propellers around it, so that was the Wind Temple. And then this was the Earth Temple. So a bunch of skulls, which I guess is representative of like all the Poes and Redead and stuff we fought. And then the clouds around the outside, because this was the one that had the fog everywhere that we had to use the mirror shield to kind of get rid of it. Oh boy. Let's see if any of these have a fairy. We'll... No, okay. How many of these are going to have Redead in them, or Stalfos? I could probably just run through, but some of these are going to fall on me. Oh, no. Okay, well, there was a fairy in one of them. That fairy will not be caught in a bottle, because I don't really want to run back through everything to go get it. Okay, we've got a button up here, as well as some light. Okay, what's the button do? Okay, as soon as we step off the button, that comes back. So I think, okay, there's going to be something that we stun, turn into a statue. Like one of those guys. Okay, Mr. Poe. Ah, oh, whew. Oh yeah, once we make it on there, we're safe, because they'll just raise it up. I forgot Link doesn't do so well trying to roll upstairs, though. Okay, interesting. Here are the lights at the other end. So we're going to have to get all the way down here and see. Oh, it's just a whole bunch of you guys. Okay. That's not so bad. Out of my way, please. I'm kind of on a time limit. Ah! Killed my momentum, you jerk. Okay, that's it. Come here. I would have made it on there if it hadn't been for you. Cutscene. Okay, let's wait for these guys to come back so that we can make sure we... Or we just hit one of those guys. There we go. Have it as long as possible. There we go. Okay, yeah, this one is doing the switch to grayscale as well, so... That room wasn't hard, just irritating. Okay, so I think... We have to pick him up. don't know if I ever really noticed the boss music in this one last time. Interesting. So I was thinking maybe the Whirlwind Strike would let me take out a whole bunch of them, but you notice he came back a lot quicker there. So I wonder if it's something of you know, it's not like you have a certain amount of time to beat all the pose. You have just like when you beat so many of them, then he'll reform. Well, I mean, got a couple more there. Maybe there's some kind of random element to it, because that one seemed to last longer, and I was able to kill more pose. One more. Oh, man. One more hit, we would have had him. So, okay. Should be able to get him this time. I don't know if I need to hit him towards the large pillars. I forget if we established that in the last time we encountered him, but there we go. Nope. Okay, I have no idea what kind of creature that skull came from, but let's save. Okay, Maniplins. We got eyes all over the place. Because of course there's something about these Zelda games and bosses and liking to focus on eyes. Which is kind of interesting when I think about it, because of course so many of the bosses are like cyclopses or bunches of eyes or things like that. But when I think of the symbolism, or when I think of symbols, like Ganon doesn't seem to use eyes for like a personal symbol. It's actually the main place we've seen eyes used as like a symbol of a people or personal symbol has been the Sheikah. But I don't know that the Sheikah have anything to do with this. So, okay, is this the boss I'm needing to... Oh, okay, so we came in here. There's doors to the left and right. Actually, if anything, Ganon seems to be using these tusks and horns as his symbol, with the skull outside and on the door here. So I guess we need to go in these other rooms, then we'll be able to unlock this door. Okay. No. Okay, well, good job clearing that room. Try this side. Okay, we have... Oh, I think I see. Okay, so we have 1 lit, 2 lit, 3 lit, and 4 lit. Oh, and... Okay, above those we have Mulgera, then Goma, Jalhalla. You can see kind of... It's not quite stained glass, I guess, just rock patterns. And then the one that I can never remember its name, the giant plant thing. And then Ganon being the middle, okay. You must remember well the appearance of this room, the shape of the floor, the number of items hanging on the walls. Such things are the keys to solving the riddles that lie ahead. Do not overlook anything. Okay. And then there's a torch over here. The sword hilts of my servants who lurk deep in the darkness shall be the guideposts that point to me. Okay, sword hilts of the servants who lurk in the darkness. I don't think I want to jump down here. Okay, so let's... I think maybe what it's saying is come over here. And okay, yeah, I see crystals up there. And it's going to show us the same order again. This seems a little bit hand-holdy. I mean, it's... I'm not sure they needed to go quite that much on the... Can I get these all in one loop? Hey. I see. So this is the portal through which Ganon was able to seep into the unsuspecting world above. We shall make use of this path that Ganon created for himself. If there is anything from the world above that you believe you need, then climb into the boat and enter the column of darkness. Okay, so that's how we can return back back to the overworld. We basically hit kind of a save point, so we don't have to go through all the first part of the dungeon again. Okay. That doesn't... So I'm thinking what we're going to need to do is jump down into the darkness on the other side. Like this side's the way to go up to the world above. The other side's the way to go down to wherever Ganon's hiding. Seems odd that we entered Ganon's tower and we're going down, but let's try it. Whoa! Okay, well, let's, Oh, no, don't need that. Okay. So the hilt points to where we need to go. This is kind of a Lost Woods sort of situation that we have to find our way through. So I guess we fight this guy a few times. Whoa. Okay, went too early there. Not sure the spin attack approach is really working all that well. Let's just try to... Whoa. Well, why couldn't the last guy have been that easy? Yeah, the grayscale sandpit was rather diabolical, wasn't it? Oh, okay. That was, let me get some of Grandma's soup here. Make sure this I know how to do. Oh, not the pink ones again. Oh, there we go. That works. I tried to move forward a little bit, and that threw off my timing. Okay. Okay, this room looks different. So this should be where we do the final fight against him. Maybe. Am I gonna open this up and he's gonna like pop out and attack me or something? Because that didn't seem like a final fight against him. Oh, we got the light arrows. Nice. When you take out your bow, use R to change arrowheads, then fire away. The sacred light of these arrows can pierce pure evil itself. Okay. Well, nice of Ganon to hide his weakness in the dungeon that we have to travel through to get to him. Oh, so now I wonder if... Whoa, okay. There we go, light arrows. That's a final battle. Well, I mean, it wasn't much of a final battle, but... it does seem like an ending to him. Okay, and this isn't really pointed at anything, so maybe we can use this to break this. It was either that or fire light arrows at it, so would have tried both. All right. Okay, before we go deeper, I am curious. I want to see where this portal is going to take us if we do head out. Doesn't seem a very wholesome portal, but where are we? Okay, we're in the Forsaken Fortress. Okay. And the reason I wanted to check that was because I know when we get our final picture, we're going to want to leave the dungeon, get the figurine made, and then come back. And I want to come back through this portal because that way we'll skip having to go through Hyrule Castle and everything. So it's good to know that when we do that, we'll be coming back through Forsaken Fortress, not through the Tower of the Gods. Okay. So what's next? Okay, another stairwell. Okay, arrows and magic, so... Oh, what's... Okay. Light arrows, good for taking those guys out in one hit. Hope your name wasn't Mo, because that would be kind of a sad ending. But well, these stairs we can roll up. Ooh, can we use light arrows on these guys? Okay, they're giving us plenty of magic and arrows because this hallway is just to, hey, have fun with all the enemies who've been giving you a hard time this whole game. Missed with the arrow. There we go. Okay. Oh no, 2 dark nuts. Oh, missed. There we go. Well, that makes things considerably easier. Okay, arrows. Okay, fairy. Okay. That's good, and that's about as... Alright, so we're topped off about as healthy as we can possibly be. I mean, unless we went back and got a few more heart containers or something. And I want Let's see. Okay, this... So I can see, like, the face there. But then what's all this around it? Like, it looks like he has a massive beard. Um... Did... Ganon might have had a beard in this one. I forget. But that also kind of looks like beast form. And so I don't think he was particularly hairy or had a beard in his beast form. Okay, so let's... Okay, we have a bed. Zelda! Do you sleep still? Okay, this is reminding me of a couple things in the Zelda series. One, wading through the water, get to the middle of a room, um, presumably before a boss fight, is reminding me of the first time, well, second time, we faced Dark Link in Ocarina of Time in the Water Temple. And this particular setup of a princess um, lying on, I mean, in this case, a bed, but lying in the middle with us entering the room and the villain on the other side is actually reminding me very much of Link to the Past, where when we went to stop Aghanim, he had the maidens. He'd just sacrificed the last maiden or done some spell. So that's kind of ominous as well. So I'm not sure what Ganon's going on here. Oh, and yes, I do think I see a little bit of beard on Ganon, so answers that question. Wait. Do not be so hasty, boy. I can see this girl's dreams. Oceans, 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 oceans. Sounds like a thrilling dream here. Oceans as far as the eye can see. There are vast seas, none can swim across them. They yield no fish to catch. What did the King of Hyrule say? That the gods sealed Hyrule away? And they left behind people who would one day awaken Hyrule? How ridiculous. So many pathetic creatures scattered across a handful of islands, drifting on this sea like fallen leaves on a forgotten pool. What can they possibly hope to achieve? Don't you see? All of you. Your gods destroyed you. I've been waiting for you, boy. For one like you. Yes. For the hero. Do not betray my expectations. What? Okay. This is the final picture that we need to take. So, we will try to get a few pictures of him. do is we will save. And say no to be able to leave and check. And I made the save state on the emulator so that if none of these turn out, we can easily just jump back there and take more pictures. Okay, so where is this going to send us back to? This room. So, okay. So, sorry, Ganon, didn't mean to interrupt. I know you had a big fight planned, but we need to get these figurines completed, read through, because, you know, we're not really going to have another chance before the end of the game, so. Oh, hey, the post box is dancing. Why is that? Good morning. Letters, one letter. Dear JJ48, I recently received some golden feathers from my boyfriend who mentioned you. I'm something of a bird enthusiast, so I know how hard it must have been to get all of these feathers. I want you to be as happy as we are, so I'm sending you this heart as a token of our affection. Oh, wasn't that nice? Well, I will say I'm rather glad that in real life my mailbox doesn't sneeze on me when I'm when I'm getting the mail out of it. I think this should be the last figurine of all of them, so. Okay, good. This is quite an inspiring motif. I'm filled with inspiration. Permit me to sculpt this. It will be a jewel of a figurine. Alright. And move on to tomorrow, and then we can look at the last batch of figurines. So some people might say that it's like rather irresponsible to do this, you know, in the middle of going after Ganon, but I mean, we saw Zelda. We saw that she's fine. She's just taking a nap at the moment. She, in a way, I guess Ganon is looking over her, making sure nothing happens to her. He probably has a nefarious reason for doing so, but you know, I'm sure it'll be fine. He seemed to want to. He wanted to like lure us there for some reason, because he needs the hero, and so I'm sure he's not going to do anything until we're there. Okay, so the best work you've done in a while. Go there to check it out. Right across from me. Okay. Okay, so these are all the bosses and mini bosses and just like really strong enemies. So we'll start over here with the Dark Nut family. So did realize when I was getting the pictures of the Dark Nuts there actually is a difference. It's not silver and gold. It's even though they're colored that way, it's no shield and shield. So, and then the mighty Dark Nut, who's a boss. All right, so we have Dark Nut. His habitat is the Tower of the Gods. Its spoils are Knight's Crest. These mighty knights are protected by heavy-duty armor. Rather than attacking from the front, it might be best to slip around behind them and cut their armor off. Yeah. No mention of them having dogs' heads, though. Okay, the Dark Nut with the shield, habitat Earth Temple, Knight's Crest. These knights are well protected by their round bucklers and mighty armor. If you use a parry attack to jump up and knock off their helmets, it'll spell their doom. So, interesting, the iconography here. There's the symbol on their chest. I mean, the big sword, so that's fitting. They have a big sword. But then they have like Landmola or Moldorms or Moldera. Like they have some kind of worm enemy. Spirals around the sword and on their shield. Oh, this guy has it on his cape too. So I'm guessing the Dark Nuts, their origin. I mean, they have dogs' heads, so they're clearly like their own race of people. They're not just like Hylians who've gone bad or something like that. They're their own people, and wherever they come from, they must have like these worm creatures there, and then that's a symbol of strength or valor or something. So I guess it'd be kind of like in our world, you know, people using dragons or some other powerful creature as symbols on things. So the mighty Dark Nut, his habitat is Hyrule Castle. Knight's Crest. These are Dark Nut captains. Some wear capes that must be burned or cut off before their armor straps can be cut. Okay. Yeah, come up this side. This was Godon, the Great Arbiter, habitat Tower of the Gods. He was the kind of boss in the Tower of the Gods. Effective weapon, arrows. This monstrous machine was created by the gods as a trial for the great hero. You can drop it to the ground only by piercing its hands and face with arrows. Once it has fallen, you can defeat it by immediately tossing a bomb inside it. Oddly enough, arrows occasionally drop from its nostrils. Wizrobes, habitat Tower of the Gods. Magic is fire or summons. These mighty mages are adept at wielding flame and summoning other creatures to their aid. The only way to defeat them is to try to predict their movements and attack them during the brief moments that they assume physical form. Okay, the Wizrobe, kind of boss Wizrobe, who summons. These high-level mages use the magic of summoning to aid them in battle. They are the only Wizrobes that can summon other Wizrobes, which makes them formidable. I just can't help but feel like Wizrobes look like Toucan Sam just followed his nose to evil or something like that. At least these versions of Wizrobes. Alright. Yeah, we've seen enough of you for today. Oh, interesting. I never noticed like his leg. He's got one booted leg, and the other leg is not booted, and it's like it's like skeletal. Similarly, he has one gauntleted hand and then one not gauntleted hand that's skeletal. Okay. Okay. Phantom Ganon, Habitat Forsaken Fortress. Effective weapons, the light arrows or the Master Sword. This is a phantom that Ganondorf created in his own likeness. Use your sword to knock back the balls of magic that he hurls, then attack him when he's stunned. Actually, you can also use empty bottles to deflect his magic attacks. Moblin, Habitat Forsaken Fortress, spoils skull necklaces. These mighty enemies swing their long spears with the greatest of ease. They've knocked JJ48 around with that attack countless times. Didn't really need to mention that. So, although I do find it interesting, this is we had one room that was full of just enemies, and then these are like the bosses and mini boss enemies. But then we do have Wizrobes and Moblins and Dark Nuts that we see a lot more than mini bosses, but I guess it is kind of elevating them and saying, yeah, even if they're not quite boss level or even mini boss level, they are tougher than most enemies. Like they are meant to be kind of trickier enemies, not like the Bokoblins or Choo-Choos and things like that that you just basically run through, killing them left and right. Okay, Stalfos. Habitat Earth Temple, weakness is its head. These skeleton warriors attack by violently swinging their gigantic maces around. Even if they're shattered to pieces, they'll reform unless their heads are destroyed. Okay, Jalhala, Protector of the Seal. He's in the Earth Temple. His underlings are Pose. This gigantic ghost rules over all Pose. After reflecting light onto it with the mirror shield, you can lift it up. You can lift it and throw it around. Okay, Ganondorf. He's got a... looks like a dragon's head pendant there. And then on his sleeves, that almost looks like a floor master. There's its little hole that the black hole thing it pops out of, and then reaching out and grabbing something. And then there's the Triforce symbol on his hand. So if he was holding his hand up, that'd be the topmost piece of Triforce, which I guess... in general, I think the topmost piece of Triforce seems to represent the Triforce of Power. I think they've standardized that. So looking at this, if I divide it in half and only look at half of the image, that looks like a dragon's head. It's like two dragons' heads snout to snout, which would then make that like a dragon's claw. And that like a dragon's tail. Although somewhat ironic because the only real dragon we've seen in this game has been Valu, and Valu actually attacked Ganon. But I guess Ganon's using dragon imagery is still pretty cool to use. So Ganondorf, base of operations, Ganon's castle. Effective weapons, the light arrows or the Master Sword. The possessor of the Triforce of Power, Ganondorf controls many fell beasts. It is useless for JJ48 to try to face him alone. He must look for an ally who can aid him in battle. Okay. The monstrous Helmarok King. Habitat Forsaken Fortress. Its master is Ganondorf. The Helmarok King is a monstrous bird that has been fitted with a mighty steel mask. Once the mask has been split with the hammer, its tender beak will be revealed. Mothula, Forbidden Woods. Effective weapons, Deku Leaf and projectiles. This gigantic moth scatters its scales through the air. Even using projectiles to clip its wings won't assure safety. It can still run around and swiftly release larvae. Big Octo. Its habitat is the Great Sea, effective weapons projectiles. There are said to be 6 of these legendary giant squid in different reaches of the Great Sea. When ships pass by, they create tremendous currents to try to sink them. The only way to escape is to shoot all of their weak spots, their eyes, with projectiles before being sucked in. I will say, trying to get a picture of Goma here was one of the trickiest pictures in the game because I needed to get, like, just getting its head wasn't enough. He kept saying, oh, you need to get some picture of its body too. And so eventually I had to wait for it to stick its claw on the ground and then get a picture of the head almost from the side, but with enough of the claw in the foreground that he considered that to be a picture of the whole thing. And the fact that every single time I did it, I'd have to get all the way out from the boss fight, come up here, and try it out before I knew whether it was a good picture or not, made it even more frustrating. So Goma from Dragon Roost Island, effective weapon the grappling hook. This gigantic shelled insect inhabits areas of lava and magma. The only way to penetrate its hard bioarmor would be to drop an entire sheet of bedrock on it. Yeah, interesting that the area between the armor is like bright, like it itself is magma, or is as hot as magma. I don't think I ever noticed that the thing in the middle has a little face on it. Oh, there's Makar. Because of course Makar was captured by this thing. He wandered in and got captured, and that's what triggered the boss fight initially. Okay. Kale Demos. Habitat Forbidden Woods. Favorite thing, Makar. This plant monster is a gigantic parasite that lives in the depths of the Forbidden Woods. Only by cutting loose all of its disgusting tentacles with the boomerang will its tender core be revealed. Okay, so there's... What's that? Weird, okay, so it does have eyes, they're just like way to the side. That's weird. And these ones look like they have 3 eyes almost. Okay, Mulgera, Protector of the Seal. Habitat Wind Temple, effective weapon hookshot. This evil guardian burrows deep into sand. Use the hookshot to draw out its tender tongue, then slash at it with your blade. So, they're evil guardians. Both of these are protectors of the seal, so if they're evil, they weren't put there by like the sages to protect the seals from Ganondorf. Probably they were put there by Ganondorf to protect the seals from the hero. So he was hoping that we wouldn't be able to get to the seals and with the sages and restore the power to the Master Sword. And interestingly enough, both the other 2 dungeon bosses, these 2, who were affecting the homes of the sages, Dragon Roost Island, where Medley's from, and the temple or the Forest Haven, where Makar lived. Both of them are described as parasites. Well, at least that one was described as a parasite. Did this one say parasite? It was a parasite if it wasn't, but yeah, it doesn't say parasite here. I think in Ocarina of Time, Goma was described as a parasite, but the fact that he was in the mountain and just kind of tormenting Valu's tail, he was rather parasitic as well, I'd say. Okay, and this is the one we just got, which I just want to point out that probably could have gotten the effect with the strings being half as long, but that's some commitment to detail there. Okay. Puppet Ganon. Its habitat is Ganon's castle. Effective weapon is the light arrows. Okay, use light arrows on him. This is a gigantic marionette created by Ganon himself. It transforms into 3 different shapes, but all are vulnerable to rays of light. Rather than shooting randomly at it, try to deduce when it can be easily targeted, and then take advantage of your chance. Don't tell me how to fight it. I happen to be the hero here. And I don't have wisdom, so I have courage. Firing randomly was probably the way to go. Now, I thought there's supposed to be something if we got all of them. Well, do you like it? If you do, then go find me another great subject to work on. Okay. I thought I read if you get all of the things, then there's another freebie figurine. But maybe he just doesn't mention it. Let's see, would it be... Or maybe if we leave and come back, maybe he'll be like, oh, hey, yeah, you completed everything. Good job. Okay, let's try that. Let's try leaving and coming back and seeing if he'll, Otherwise, I'm not sure. Don't think we're missing any. Oh, he's gone. Did you see where he went? That manager guy is gone, you know. Yeah, he left one last figurine and took off somewhere. I have no idea where. Leave your figurines in the vast ocean room on the other side of that wall. I have made every last figurine this world could possibly desire from me. I have set out into the world in search of new inspiration to guide my hands. That's what was written here. So I guess this means you're the new master of the Nintendo Gallery, aren't you? It looks like you'll be with us for a long, long time. Well, I'll be counting on you, buddy. I'll be here every day. Okay. Thanks for visiting. Maybe I should charge membership or something. Is this the... Oh, yep, here's the last figurine. Action shot of Link and the King of Red Lions sailing on the ocean. JJ48 and the King of Red Lions. Birthplace, Outset Island. Favored hand, left. The hero of wind uses the Wind Waker to control the wind and sail the seas on his mysterious boat, which is actually the King of Hyrule. Surprisingly, he seems to have an unnatural interest in figurines and has at last completed his collection. He is now the master of the Nintendo Gallery. Alright. That's a figurine you'd buy. Yeah, I wonder if Nintendo's actually made this figurine, because that is a nice one. Alright. Although I do find it interesting, all of his inspiration, all of the carver's inspiration has come from us bringing him pictures of stuff. And then somehow now is when he's decided, oh, okay, I've had enough inspiration from pictures, I'm just going to leave and sail on my own, because apparently it's impossible for anyone to bring me any more pictures. Not sure why he decided that, but, you know, if he wants to travel and see the world, then yeah, he probably should get out some. That's probably not a bad choice on his part. Alright. Well, now that we have all of our figurines, Ganon doesn't stand a chance. Look, we've even picked up 3 Seagull allies, so we were told that we won't be able to take Ganon alone. We'll need allies. I'm assuming this is what's meant. I actually don't think that's what they meant, but it would actually be kind of fun if they did make it that you needed Seagull allies, especially because that'd be a nice callback to Link's Awakening with Marin being and her desire to be a seagull and actually becoming a seagull at the end. So, or if my theory's correct, having always been a seagull and just being released from the dream at the end. And there's Mother and Child Island. Remember, we couldn't warp there because if we warp there, we go inside the island and there's no way out. So we had to warp to Tingle's Island and take a slightly longer route. Have a little welcoming party coming out after us. Whoop. Yeah, throw all the exploding barrels and little gunships you want at us. You're still not stopping us from finally beating you and ending the game. Just don't remember where the entrance was. Okay, no, not there. So here it is. Oh, well. Somehow managed to miss the huge portal that takes up a significant portion of the water as soon as we go through the door. Okay, I'm gonna save again just because that way we have our have a save point after our figurines have been all collected. Not that it matters too much, but it just I think would bother me a little bit if we died, came back to a save, and then it's like, oh yeah, you're still missing one figurine now. Okay, do we need to beat these guys again, or are they still? Okay, looks clear. So now, question: are we going to have to listen to Ganondorf go through his spiel again, or can we just go right to the fight? I'm assuming we're still going to have to. There's going to be something happening. We'd watch him transform. I saw strings, so we're going to need that, I'm guessing. Okay, I'll get those on the light arrows, so that's... I think when we can attack them, we'll attack them with light arrows. Yep. Did that do anything? Well, looks like it cut some. Okay, so want to hit the ball, which means we want to stop it from spinning or moving around. So we want to basically want to cut the string that's on the ball so that it doesn't move around so much, and then we can try to. No. Go away, please. I guess the keys are... Oh, hey, there's a warp spot in here. Where was there... Keys are probably here so that, like, if we run out of magic, we'll still be able to get some from them. There we go. Oh yeah, 'cause keys almost never drop like this many, as much magic and arrows and stuff. So okay, keys are our supply of. Oh. There we go. Nope. I'll get back here. All the strings are back. There we go. There we go. It's interesting, I don't think we ever saw the other forms unless it's about to transform into the other forms. Oh, okay, which might be about... Yep, okay. We've got to defeat each of its 3 forms separately. It's not a... It's not like Varen in Oracle of Ages where it's just... I'll randomly swap between my forms as you're fighting. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess I could use my boomerangs on those guys. That'd probably be... Oh, is this something like I should be looking up and seeing where that thing is so that I know where I want to... Okay. Oh. No. Almost. Okay, so that's 2 forms down. Oh, he's Moldorm Puppet Ganon now. Okay, because Moldorms are always... Ow. Dude. Okay, can't cut the red string, so that's out. How am I supposed to... stop you? Ah, timing's a bit off. Oh, and now I don't have enough magic to use light arrows. Okay. Some more magic. There we go. Oh. That normal arrows. Okay. Grandma's soup. Okay. Grandma's soup gives me magic too. Good. There we go. Just had to get it where... I need to get it where, like... I can only target his head. But I want to get it where, like... targeting his head will let me get the ball when... There we go. If I miss him completely, it seems to take a bit longer to be able to try again. And somehow the figurine sculptor knew that you only had 3 forms, so that should be the end of Puppet Ganon. Alright. Yes, surely you are the hero of time, reborn. Your time has come. Come now, stand before me. So one thing I've always noticed with Wind Waker, when I reach Ganondorf, he seems like he's the most. How do I? I guess I need to climb this thing. I need to jump on it. There we go. Ganondorf seems like has the he seems to emote the most and have like very complex emotions as compared to everybody else having just like I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm scared, or I'm worried. Uh, Such a multi-dimensional character does not belong in this simplistic ocean world. So, okay, where am I going now? Ah, okay, there we go. Ganon, if you wanted me to follow you, you could have made it a little bit easier. You could have put in a ladder or something. Or portals. I mean, you've been using magic portals quite a bit. Okay. Where am I going now? Okay, over there. In the middle there, there's a bunch of pots. Let's go see what's in those. Since we've used up Grandma's elixir, if there's a fairy, we can grab one of those. One rupee. Okay, 2 rupees. 3 rupees. Okay, we found the mother lode here. No fairies, though. It's also particularly interesting, I think. Um, Maybe you haven't noticed because I've been talking over it a bit, but there's no music. This part is... Man, I wanted to capture the fairy. This part is completely silent other than, like, the pitter-patter of Link's feet and whatnot. Oh, okay. Let's go. Let's open that thing up, because we definitely don't want to have to make this climb again. The reason I'm firing the arrow from here, I'm still going to go over there, but the reason I'm firing it from here is so that if I fall down, I will be able to just use the pot to get up here and not have to climb up the long way again. But, okay, we didn't fall down. Oh, fairy! Too late. Okay, I think the fairies are just taunting me now. Okay, can I get there from here? No, okay. Let's go over one. I mean, this is... I think this is... Like, the silence, especially in a game which has so much music for all the areas and, like, very good music, would have just this much silence is very, very ominous, very, uh, very deliberate. Wait, where's the door we came out of? My country lay within a vast desert. Link just seems kind of confused. When the sun rose into the sky, a burning wind punished my lands, searing the world. And when the moon climbed into the dark of night, a frigid gale pierced our homes. No matter when it came, the wind carried the same thing: death. But the winds that blew across the green fields of Hyrule brought something other than suffering and ruin. I coveted that wind, I suppose. It can only be called fate. Yeah, Ganon, I think all your emotions here are just kind of lost on Link. Um, doesn't seem to be getting it at all. That here, I would again gather the three with the crests. That I should lay my hand on that which grants the wishes of the beholder. That when power, wisdom, and courage come together, the gods would have no choice but to come down. The power of the gods, the Triforce. He who touches it will have whatever he desires granted. Already the crest of wisdom is mine. Okay, so lower left on Zelda's hand. All that remains. Lower right on Link's hand. Oh no! Oh, that was close. Do not fear. I will not kill you. I merely have need of the power that dwells within you. Now, let us put an end to that which binds us together. Uh-oh. Gods, hear that which I desire. Expose this land to the rays of the sun once more. Let them burn forth. Give Hyrule to me. He who touches it will have whatever he desires granted. Ooh. That is what you said, is it not, Ganondorf? Oh, somebody was sniped. Gods of the Triforce, hear that which I desire. Hope. I desire hope for these children. Give them a future. Wash away this ancient land of Hyrule. Let a ray of hope shine on the future of the world. Well, something tells me Ganon's not going to be too happy with that. And let our destinies finally be fulfilled. Ganondorf, may you drown with Hyrule. Okay, seems to have been driven mad. This is foolishness. A future for you? What are you laughing at, Ganondorf? You're insane. I'm sorry, I overslept. I think it's time for us to say goodbye to this place. We must return to the world above, back to our ocean. Yeah, it might be ocean as far as the eye can see, Ganondorf, but it's fun sailing on the ocean, so... Very well then. Allow me to show you your future. Yes, allow me to show you just what hope you have. Now, I don't mean to nitpick here, but you did say that you were not going to kill us. So this does seem like it's a little bit of a breach of what you said before. I mean, assuming that you actually can manage to kill us. But you at least seem to be trying to break your word. See how much your precious Triforce is worth. Dude, you were the one after it, not us. I'll use this bow to cover you. Attack him as best you can. Okay. Okay. Oh, she has my bow. Okay. That would make sense. Okay, so we want when she's charging. Nope, over here. Well, I guess thanks for not cutting her with your sword, which probably would have been far more effective than just backhanding her. No boss bar on this guy. We don't know how many shots we have, how much damage he's taking. Whoa, okay. I will say that was a rather impressive dodge. Come on, get hit by something. Ha! You didn't know that I had a fairy. I'm doing the parry attacks and it's not actually hitting him. He's just blocking those as well. Okay, let's try this. Dude, I want to use a hurricane spin on you. You have to distract him. I'm trying. You ready? I'll aim for you and use your shield. Do you get it? Okay. Okay, that could have gone better. Okay, it's 2 fairies down. There we go. Ooh, okay, there we go. That looks... He's got a splitting headache now. wind. It is blowing. Not expecting that. Okay. Now I lost my sword. JJ48. My children, listen to me. His belt buckle's got the Triforce and then wings to the side. Kind of like the, I think the Hylian shield kind of is like that a little bit. Listen to me. I have lived regretting the past, and I have faced those regrets. If only I could do things over again. Not a day of my life has gone by without my thoughts turning to my kingdom of old. I have lived bound to Hyrule. Oh, this music is from A Link to the Past. I think it's in some of the dungeons, or else it's in Hyrule Castle. I have lived bound to Hyrule. In that sense, I was the same as Ganondorf. But you... Original Legend of Zelda dungeon theme. Yeah. I want you to live for the future. There may be nothing left for you, but despite that, you must look forward and walk a path of hope, trusting that it will sustain you when darkness comes. Farewell. This is the only world that your ancestors were able to leave you. Please forgive us. Wait. You could come with us. Yeah. Yes, of course, we have a ship. We can find it. We will find it. The land that will be the next Hyrule. So... Ah, but child, that land will not be Hyrule. It will be your land. Hmm? I have scattered the seeds of the future. Looks like she's back in her Tetra outfit again. Hey, it's Prince Kamali. And the pirate ship. And that looks like Errol. Yay! I mean, nice to see everybody, but can we get out of the ocean before we start with the joyous greetings and... Wait a second. Oh, there's Medley and Makar. So they don't need to power up the Master Sword anymore now that it's buried at the bottom of the ocean. So saying hold on, because with Errol, she is normally wearing like a blue dress, but there it looked like she had a purple dress with skulls on it. It's like probably had a new dress made from some cloth the pirates had or something. Makes sense. If she's been living with the pirates for a while, she probably wants a change of clothes and would have to use whatever material they had at hand. This has elements of the Sage's songs. So I think it's interesting. It's showing all the bubbles of all the different characters we've met, and some of them are prominent characters that are, you know, you would expect to see, but it's showing an awful lot of the like minor characters and secondary characters and just like townsfolk that we pass by. But I think that kind of makes sense given, you know, the King of Hyrule's speech to us was, you know, go, you guys are the future. You're going to make a new future for people and stuff. And so of course all these other just like townsfolk and stuff living on the islands, they're part of that future as well. So not just looking back at people who've helped us, we're also looking forward to, you know, this is the start of, I guess, even though he says it's not Hyrule, it's essentially it's new Hyrule, I guess. Zelda's Lullaby there. Letting it play out because, one, I really like the music. Two, don't know if there's any post-credit sequence, or even if there's not a cutscene, they'll probably at least have a splash screen or something. Oh yeah, we should probably get Errol home back to Outset Island because Grandma hasn't seen her since since the bird took her, so... Probably might reassure Grandma a bit if we got home. Okay, we did go home. Oh, it's just a normal boat now, not a talking boat. Oh, yep, there's Errol's new dress. Anchors away! Hold the tiller steady. As for our destination, the wind will guide us. I know we've been sailing all over in King of Red Lions, but since he can't talk anymore and we're going to be sailing for who knows how long, can't we ride on board the pirate ship? Okay. Okay, the game will save and make a file for a second playthrough to keep current save data, save over a new quest log. Do you want to save? Sure. So, one thing I will do, let's see. Okay, we don't need this at the moment. Okay. So one thing I will do is I am going to try to play through a little bit of that because there's one. I won't. I'll do it mostly off stream, just take some video of it. But there's one main thing that we are going to want to come back to and look at, and that is on the second playthrough. There's a few changes that are made, but one big one for our purposes is you might recall at various times throughout the game, um, there were uh, there were moments when we encountered like Valu and Jaboon, um, and they were speaking like Old Hylian or something, some ancient language that we couldn't understand, and we were only hearing, we were only hearing one half of the conversation when King of Red Lions responded to them. Um, on a second playthrough, you can actually hear what they're saying. So during off time, I'm gonna play through those bits and um, try to record what's being said there, so we can look at that. But I don't think we'll have time to completely get through our post game analysis. Because there's a bit to get through. I don't know how long it'll take, but what we'll do is we'll spend a few minutes going through some of it, and we'll do the rest next week, uh, prior to starting the next game, which will be Zelda Four Swords Adventure. So Okay, let's see. Should be able to see the timeline now. Or, well, where I wanted to start with is this game was, I think I mentioned before, this seems to be where Nintendo's finally seems to be intentionally putting the games together, saying, okay, we're referencing these older games now. There is an actual timeline, and so I wanted to kind of try my attempt at what a timeline might look like based on the information that we have so far. Not looking at what Nintendo has said in interviews or anything, um, or any published information, or even what future games have said, but just looking at what we see in the game so far. I thought it'd be fun to just kind of try to piece that together. Um, of course, Wind Waker established that uh, these are not necessarily all the same link, but at the same time, it does seem to establish that Ganon is the same. Ganon has been, uh, in this case, he's been kind of in stasis uh, for who knows how long, or use his magic to survive or something. So one thing when I was looking through this, I noticed that it seemed like Ganon's story is kind of what helped me come up with some sort of timeline here. Because the links, we don't know if they're the same link or not unless they're explicitly said to be the same. And so where we start is I start with Ocarina of Time, which because that was the one that Ganon Ganondorf first encountered the Triforce, first got hold of it, became powerful, and um, almost destroyed Hyrule before we stopped him. And then I don't know if I would have come up with branching timelines if I hadn't read that Nintendo said that at one point. But their reasoning does make sense for having branching timelines because there is a bit of a paradox. So I'm going to stick with it because even though that's what brought it to my attention, I do have justification for actually once I'm thinking the line of branching timelines, it does make sense. So uh, in the course of the game, we become Adult Link. Adult Link seals Ganon away. That's one timeline. Then Link goes back to Child Link, warns Zelda about Ganon's plot. They're able to, I guess, convince the king, and they stop Ganon from ever getting the Triforce and coming to power. That's the Child Link timeline. So, looking at the other games, Majora's Mask seems to be just a direct sequel along the Child Link timeline. Link's a little bit older than he was as Child Link, but he's not as old as Adult Link, so it has to be after he's gone back to being a kid. Then we have let's see, in the adult timeline, Ganon gets sealed away when we beat him as his boss form. In the child timeline, Ganon never really comes to power in Hyrule. He never conquers Hyrule. So in the original Legend of Zelda, we're told that Ganon attacked Hyrule from outside of, like, he was basically coming in from the outside as an invader. And so I figured that makes the most sense if he has never gotten the Triforce before. He's still trying to get the Triforce, but who knows how long later he eventually uh, invades Hyrule, tries to get the Triforce. And then Zelda 2 is a direct sequel of that with the Sleeping Zelda. In A Link to the Past, we were told about how long ago Ganon uh, achieved the Triforce and was sealed away by the sages. It doesn't exactly fit with Ocarina of Time, but it's very close, and I think that's just a matter of, like we've said throughout, they seem to have been kind of doing some rebooting type stuff, reworking things, kind of deciding, okay, with the new game, we're going to change how it worked. So I think it's close enough to say Link to the Past happened after Ocarina of Time while Ganon is sealed away. And Link's Awakening is kind of, again, said to be a direct sequel of that. We know that um, Wind Waker follows from the Ocarina of Time through the adult timeline because the opening scroll told us that Ganon was defeated by the Hero of Time, but then returned, um, and there was no hero. So that's why Hyrule was sunk. It does seem to just kind of be ignoring the fact that there are a couple links still in this timeline, but it does seem to follow from there. However, we do still have a reference to Tingle, which to me makes me think that in some way Majora's Mask timeline also leads here. I don't know if we could say that these are like two converging timelines, or maybe this is an alternate timeline, but still some stuff happened with Tingle in the adult timeline, and that's how he fits in. So I'm not entirely sure about the connection here, but it almost seems like we have branching timelines that converge. And then we have three games that I'm not really sure where to fit in. Four Swords makes no reference to Ganon at all. Um, you have Link and Zelda and the Four Sword and Vadi. It really could kind of fit in just about anywhere. Um, and then we have the Oracles games, which don't take place in Hyrule. They do reference Hyrule because Link is from Hyrule. We have Impa being sent over to Holodrum and Laberna from Hyrule. Zelda makes an appearance. But I'm not entirely sure where to put these either. We know that in them Ganon is dead, and so because Twin Rovo is trying to revive him, which would put it either if it's in the child timeline, it'd be at some point after the original Legend of Zelda. If it's in the adult timeline, it'd be at some point after A Link to the Past. Um, I'm tempted to lean more towards the child timeline just because we do have uh, Oracle of Ages has Tingle in it, and we have lots of references to Majora's Mask characters and Ocarina of Time characters as well. But they could really fit it in either in realistically they could even fit in after Wind Waker, if you know Link and Tetra manage to find a new land to use to declare new Hyrule, and then it could be at some point in the future that they go from there. But so those two, I'm not really sure where they fit. All right, and that's kind of the end of our time tonight. So I do have a lot more slides I want to go through. I'm thinking this is a good time because this game is bringing stuff together. Um, this will be a good time to kind of do an examination of the series so far and look at kind of how things have changed, how things have progressed. Um, but we'll start with that next time. So like, just as a preview, we're going to be looking through a few of the enemies and how they've changed over time, as well as some themes and things like that. So we'll start on that next time. Next time, hopefully, I'll have a chance to play enough of Wind Waker. We can look at some of the dialogue that ancient Hylian dialogue. Um, that'll be either next time or the time after, depending on how much time I have this week. We'll do go through the rest of our analysis, um, and then after that, we should be able to start uh, Zelda Four Sword Adventures. I'm never sure if it's Adventures or Adventure, um, which is distinct from Zelda Four Swords. It's either a sequel or a prequel um, related to it, but it is a separate game with I guess a different story. So we will be starting that, and yeah, that we should be able to start that next week. Look at the instruction manual, get the story, and
begin on that. So with that, thank you for joining me tonight. As a reminder, no stream on Friday, but we should be. I plan on being here again next Monday. So uh, have a good week and see y'all next time. Bye.